happy?
Yeah!
Carey, everybody!
Keep it going for Peggy, everybody. Doing the Lord's work, hosting the show. I've done a lot of shows, and I haven't always gotten as good an introduction as that. I once did a show where I was brought up by someone saying, okay, this next comic looks like he ate all of the Jews. Will Carey. Because nothing warms you to groups of strangers like, hey, Lurch in an Old Navy shirt looks like he eats an ethnic group. So, you know, mazel tov. And the way I decided to save it was to go on stage and say, because I love them so much. It's not even like I'm morbidly obese yet. I just have eating habits that would make Elvis Presley ask, does that have to have cheese on it too? And I'll give you an example. I once ate an entire bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse by myself. Because the menu says it feeds 6, it doesn't have to. It feeds 6 well-adjusted people, and one guy trying to hide his feelings. And when I bought it with a gift card, and the guy behind the counter gave me a look that said, that's not going to go home to anyone else, is it, champ? That's going to get eaten in a dark apartment while the theme from Requiem for a Dream plays. Things are a lot better now. Last month, I just went to Thailand with my girlfriend, and that's how I tell people I went to Thailand with my girlfriend, because that way it eliminates follow-up questions. Because like, I don't know at what age a man in Thailand becomes suspicious, but having a girlfriend knocks 10 years off of that number. Because Thailand's like the McDonald's ball pit of countries. If there's just too many unsupervised men roaming around, that is cause for suspicion and concern. I'll give you guys a travel tip. We got a really good deal because last year in Thailand there was a military coup. So if you ever want to save some money, just look for a country where there's been a military coup. There should be a website for that where you just click options of like, oh, flood, oh, military coup, oh, years of political instability. We'll pay you to come here. And now whenever if I save like $2 on batteries, I have to go, who died for me to save this $2 on these batteries? That's how it works. Thailand's also the only country where I had we drove to the top of this mountain and saw this giant Buddha statue and had this really transcendent, emotional, calming experience. And then the same day I was offered if I wanted to see tickets to a ping pong show. There's yin, there's yang. I like that the new phrase that we all use to say that to tell women I want to have sex with you, but I know I can't just say that, is Netflix and chill. Because that's the best option out of all the streaming media out there. If the phrase was Hulu and relax, that's something Ted Bundy would say if he were a millennial. And if anyone says, and then the other one would be Amazon Prime and lose control of our inhibitions. Creepy. Don't want that. I was walking down the street and I saw a guy wearing a t-shirt with an outline of the state of Texas on it and a gun. And the shirt said, "We don't dial 911." And that made me feel really bad for anyone in Texas who's ever needed a fire truck. It's like, well, my house was on fire, so I shot it 87 times. I considered the fire an act of aggression. I used to play bass guitar in a pop-punk band, and if you're not familiar with pop-punk music, it's the blues for people who don't have real problems. Because I grew up in the suburbs, and every suburban formed pop-punk band should just be named Oppressed by Privilege. Because I would just sit there in my room and go, okay, how do I rebel against this system that favors me in every conceivable way? Okay, this next song is called I Don't Pay My Own Car Insurance. Boom, 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 boom. Wayne wrote a lot of songs for girls, and I basically think writing a song for a girl is like sending her a dick pic, but with your heart. Emotionally invasive. I recently found out that one of my old roommates was on heroin for much of the time that I was living with him, and that answered a lot of questions. Like, he used to hide all of our spoons. And I was going through my drawer one day, and I pulled them out, and the spoon looked like it had been molded by Salvador Dali. It's like, I think I'll just put that in the garbage. I don't want to have a bowl of cereal and then be sleepy 3 minutes later. I'll tell you guys one more thing. I recently had the chance to perform comedy in Turkey, where comedy is illegal, but improv isn't. And I had to do my set partially in Turkish, which means I had about 4 months to learn Turkish from when I got this set. So the first thing I learned in Turkish was how to say goodbye. And one way that you can say goodbye in Turkish is by saying alas madik. So to say goodbye in Turkish, all you have to do is say alas smadik. And then when I learned that, I went, we have that as a goodbye in English as well. I'll tell you guys one more thing. What's that? Yeah. One more thing. I have a degree in theater, and when I started doing theater, my dad was afraid that I was gay. But he had no problem when I went out for wrestling. Hey Dad, want to hang out with all girls that wear sweatpants, do yoga, and learn to express my emotions. I knew it. Hey Dad, I want to put on a skin-tight spandex unitard and roll around on the ground with another man dressed also in a skin-tight spandex unitard while each of us tries to mount the other. I'll come watch. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm Will Carey.